It's a brown looking kind of day.
Okay, that's cool.
Why am I wearing hoops so nobody can see them? That's pain for no reason. Because mics and hoops are interesting. Mélange. Oh,
Melon.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I need more.
We can talk about that on the show. This
Okay.
is why I don't be talking to you before the show. Kenya here, she had you figure. You know the rules. No talking before the show because we gonna end up saying something funny that nobody caught. Perfect. Okay.
Wait, is my mic
All right.
too-
Can I see Kenya's? Okay. Let's do it slowly though. Okay. So the blue behind Kenya is perfect. Look at God. All right. Let's. That's very pretty. Let's do Lulu now. That's perfect.
Shout out to everybody.
Okay, and then you could put it back on moi. All right, so my camera's the one in the middle, and you guys know what your cameras are.
Yes.
Look at God. All right, and remember, no verbals, thumbs up. This is the top of the bourbon. I'm gonna leave the bottle of bourbon closest to Lulu because I can already feel where this is going.
Oh Lord.
Listen.
We have a whole other show to do, Lulu.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. That's your ration for the entire rest of the time.
Are you serious?
Yes, Lulu, we're doing 2 shows. It's only an hour.
I would have brought another bottle.
Of alcohol? Okay, I'm not sure how much bourbon you need to drink in an hour, but you know what though? You're good with alcohol.
I am.
Lulu could literally drink like a gallon of alcohol and have like no issue. Kenya, this is your first time here.
This is my first time.
I'm happy for you.
Question. So it's only going to be. We're not going to ever see below
No.
the chest. Okay, that's
Good,
great.
because I
Yeah.
spilled some sandwich.
Okay.
You guys, seriously?
Wanted to make sure.
This is the glamour of the show. All right. So I want to make sure. Did my laptop just die? Ooh. What's going on? Is my laptop dead? What's happening?
Maybe just try to close the top.
I'm gonna close the top. Who needs electronics? Yes, use the power of your hands. I wish the audience could see right now how you guys are trying to lay hands on the laptop. There we go. The laptop's not dead. That means your hands work. Look at y'all. You guys are witches. No, seriously, you guys are a little witchy. You guys, this episode's gonna be fun. It's also gonna be fast.
Let's do it.
Just remember, it's because there's 3 of us. We cannot talk over each other. Because my editor has told me how hard it is to cut when we're all kikiing together. I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
How was your weekend, honestly?
It was good.
Yeah, I had a good weekend.
Really?
Yeah, I had a really good weekend.
Good. I had a great weekend, and I'm not sure why.
Oh,
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. Hey guys, welcome to a Super Bowl, a special Super Bowl episode of Humanized. Today, instead of 1 guest, we have 2.
Let's go.
We have Kenya and Lulu. Woohoo! Kenya, we're gonna do an episode with you where the audience is gonna get to know you one-on-one. But first, I wanted you to come in as a play cousin and drink and kiki with me and Lulu. So thank you.
special.
I know. So here's the thing that was so weird. I had a great weekend and I'm not sure why. Last night I got home and I was so happy I couldn't fall asleep.
Oh my goodness.
Has that ever happened to you guys?
Never.
Yeah.
It's never happened to you.
Not one
Come
time.
on.
I could fall
The
asleep right now.
excitement. Okay, yes, but she said, "Has it ever?" You know what I mean? Like, have you ever been?
It's
so
joy. I call it
exuberant?
joy-induced insomnia.
Like when I was like 12 waiting for Christmas.
She said
So-
before life was real.
Oh, yeah.
So the show has just started and Lulu has already called me unserious. That's fine. No, it was just my heart was just so full.
I feel you, Blue. I was like that. I was like that during our project
Okay, good. See,
when I should have been sleeping.
why can't you
But I
be
could-
nice
but I
like Kenya?
couldn't.
All right, so we're gonna get right into it because today has been a day.
Okay.
One of you is driving me home because I'm, the story I told you off, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
The first thing we were supposed to talk about was the Super Bowl.
Okay.
But actually, I want to go rogue for a quick second. I want to go halfway down the agenda because there's an item that I need to bring up for Lutasha.
Ooh. Okay.
Lulu, let me put the mic down because I'm about to start screaming on this one. Lulu, when you were here last, we had an episode with you where you talked about how your friend of 17 years
Yes.
asked you out on a date or whatever. Now y'all go together. Sorry, my mouth can't
real
even say
bad.
it. I can't even say relationship anymore. My mouth is like, what was that? Apparently, one of my guy friends saw that and was inspired.
Really? Oh my God.
Y'all, it was awkward. Okay. It got awkward. I'm not gonna hold you. It got awkward. I can't
in the
get-
DMs in real
No,
life.
in real life.
IRL.
Yeah, and it was a very sexy nighttime situation too.
Really?
To the point where I'm so slow that even I knew what was happening. I was like, no, this is clear. I don't even. Look at Kenya's face.
Right.
So let's just say that he's very tall because Lulu has made it a point to say that tall matters.
It does.
Kenya, do you believe that tall matters too?
For me, it does.
How tall are you?
I'm about to say,
I'm
babe.
5'7".
Okay.
Really?
I'm 5'7".
That's fair enough.
You're 5'7".
Yeah.
Blue, how tall are you?
5'9".
Oh.
I didn't real Lulu's like a 6'12". That's fine.
Tall matters.
So
It does.
he's tall. He makes good money. He's in the industry. He's attached to somebody that I can't say because if I say the celebrity's attached to, everybody's gonna know who I'm talking about.
I'm gonna know who you're talking about.
I'm never telling you. He's chivalrous. He's kind. He has straight teeth. Here's the problem though. I realize that I'm not actually looking for a relationship right now.
Oh my God.
Let me explain to y'all. No, let me explain to you. I told you guys.
Do you have to though? Do you have to be looking for a relationship?
have spent
Can you
my
just
entire-
receive the
No.
adoration.
I'm not interested.
Oh, okay.
You're not interested in him or you're not interested, period.
Let me just put it this way. This was the first Christmas in my entire adult life where I wasn't worried about somebody's son.
Okay.
Okay.
I've never had a holiday season where I wasn't getting over, or trying to figure out some romantic bullshit.
Okay.
And this was the first holiday where it was just me having a good time with my friends and my family and no stress.
Okay.
And I didn't realize how much I needed that moment of selfishness.
Yeah.
I've never been selfish my entire life as far as romantic relationships are concerned. And so I think I've been more productive being happily single as opposed to, because miserably single is a thing, right?
Sure.
But me being happily single is probably the most productive I've ever been. I know me right now. I need about 2 or 3 more months of this, of like just being me.
So what'd you tell him?
I pretended like I didn't know what he was doing.
Okay. So here's the thing. Like,
He wasn't direct enough for me to have to directly reject him. He dropped a very heavy hint
Okay.
that I could have very heavily picked up or just
Yeah.
let sit there. Had he been like, I like you, what's up? I could have been like, I could have told him what I told y'all. When you dropping hints, I don't have to be direct if you're not being direct.
Instead, you was Ray Charles to the bullshit.
I was like, oh no, what's happening? Oh no, you smell so good. Why are you so close? Oh my God. So many drinks. It's the moon. Oh my God, the stars. Okay, my Uber's outside. Okay, bye.
But friend, what's the longest you've ever waited on hold for something?
In what way?
Just for something that you were anticipating, that you were like, I need to.
A very long time.
Okay, right. So
Yeah.
then, what makes you think that he wouldn't? You know what I mean?
Well, let's see how I feel in 2 or 3 months when I'm ready to pay attention to him.
Yeah, 2 or 3 months is really not that long.
It's
either.
really not that long.
So,
But the way time is
never-
flying, I don't know
Yeah.
about y'all.
I know that's
Seriously.
Okay,
true.
but the way time is flying, we are at like, I don't want to. Is this evergreen? Is this
No, this
evergreen
is
episode?
going out in like 72 hours.
Okay, fantastic. We are in the middle of February.
Yeah.
yeah.
We're in the middle of February.
How did
So-
that happen? Because January was like
Time.
a drive-by.
It wasn't.
January felt like it was trying to like do a
passes.
slow boys to men type of.
It's a lot.
Here's the thing, right? Love is beautiful and love is kind. I'm about to sound like I'm reading the scripture. And I cannot believe there's a version of Blue Toulousema that met a nice, attractive man who showed interest, who was not interested. And that's foreign for me.
Okay.
That's what you call growth.
It is growth. Because usually they'll be like, ooh, he might be the last tall, attractive man with a good FICO score in LA. Like the older would have been like, I gotta jump on this. I was like,
Yeah.
Let's see if I still care when you, and also too, I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't like his face enough.
Oof.
Face cards.
Now we're getting to the
matter.
He's not-
nitty-gritty.
You're so toxic. I love you, baby.
Face cards matter.
He's not ugly though.
She's a sweet girl.
It's just not my face. Like it's not the face that I want.
You know what? I'm going to leave.
Okay, this show has
celebrity-
gone off the
I'm gonna
rails.
leave this. I'm gonna leave. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about face cards because this show is popular and I'm not gonna do it because I'm not gonna say
It's called
specifically.
Humanized. Be human,
How-
bitch.
I am being human, okay? But I'm gonna say that face cards matter up to a certain point because we've all seen us all flip on face cards mattering. There's a couple people that y'all been drooling
Absolutely.
about in your favorite Black publications. Who
She's talking about Jonathan
I'm not
Majors.
talking. I didn't
So
say
let's
his
get into it.
name.
She's talking about Jonathan Majors.
I didn't say his name.
I have a theory that he looks like the human form of turtle meat. Like remember?
No, my name is
no.
Kenya Parham. Jonathan, my name is Kenya Parham, and I do
no.
not endorse this
Let me
message.
finish.
Don't
I
endorse
think
this
Jonathan's a
message.
sexy man.
My name
Sexy.
is Kenya Parham, and I don't.
Put the camera back on me. Because Kenya's being too. Kenya's a PR specialist, so she's doing that thing right now. Jonathan, you are a sexy man, and you know you are sexy. We're talking about face cards. Sexy and attractive are two very different things to me. As a face queen, I know this, right?
Well, isn't sexy attractive or no?
No. Pretty, like handsome and sexy, and pretty and sexy, which is
Okay.
what I put in the attractive bucket, are different things.
Sure.
Perfect example. I think Beyonce is pretty. I think Rihanna is sexy.
I think Rihanna's pretty too.
Sure, but if you had to pick one for both of them, that's great. If you had to pick one for both of them, Rihanna could like literally have something happen to her right now where let's say her hair falls out, she's a shape it bald, and something that's not considered like pretty
Conventionally
by
attractive.
conventionally standards, and she would still be sexy as
Okay,
fuck.
so I just want to be clear. So pretty to you is like mainstream.
No,
Conventionally pretty?
no, your face like pretty is like it's like it's just your face. While sexy is an aura.
Okay.
There
okay.
are millions of girls who are much prettier than Rihanna.
Okay.
There are very few humans who are sexier than Rihanna. Her superpower is her sexiness. On the other hand, Beyonce is very pretty, but she has done the most ratchet dances ever, and it never feels raunchy because there's a sexiness that's not there. Like there's a wholesomeness to her.
Oh man, I don't know. Okay.
I'd be mad as hell if somebody said that about me.
I know. I'm not. You know,
I meant
you
what I
are
said.
entitled to your opinion.
I love Beyonce. Beyonce pretty, Rihanna
You are
sexy. I
entitled
meant
to
what
your
I said.
opinion.
Meanwhile,
know.
neither is a diss. Like we're
I
not
think-
like we don't need to be both. Not everybody has to be both.
I
pretty
believe in the
sexy.
and life, friend. I'm out here embracing my ands.
I believe in telling the
okay?
truth. Not
My
everybody-
ands and the ands and the ands and the
I don't think
ands.
everybody is both, and I
And I
think
think-
everybody has one that they lean towards more.
But I think that's seasonal. If you look at the Kenya that I am now,
In this season, are you more sexy or pretty? In this season that you're in
I'm
right
sexy.
now. See, in this season,
I'm also a pretty ass mother.
But
Okay,
that's the thing.
Hey,
I'm
now.
asking about big arm, little arm. What's the big arm, friend? Okay,
but the difference is
Uh-huh.
because in this season I've made investments in myself, like you were talking about, right? I've made investments in myself, and there is nothing sexier than a woman who invests in herself.
Sounds like you just gave your answer twice. And then Lulu, what's your,
It's
what are
true.
you feeling sexier or prettier in this time of your life?
I've always been sexier than pretty my whole
See?
life.
And the reason why I think it's honest to be honest about the distinction is because there are people who pride themselves on pretty who don't want to be sexy. And there are
Sure.
people who pride themselves on sexy who don't need to be pretty. And I think it's bullshit that we're acting like everything's the same thing. Like they're different.
And there's sometimes people who want to be sexy, who are sexy, and who want to be pretty.
And the people who
Wanna
are
tame
pretty who
down
want to be
the sex
sexy.
thing. Yeah, they want to.
I know
down
so
the
many
sex
girls
thing.
who are not both and who may never be both. And I was like, how do we like tell the truth without and mind you, they're both good.
Sure.
Neither one is bad. Calling Rihanna sexy and Beyonce pretty are not bad things. But I'm sorry, we've seen Beyonce do some real, and this is a air marker, guys. If you want to know if you are more sexy, more pretty, if you could be almost butt naked on a horse and no one thinks it's raunchy, you're probably a very pretty girl. If you, no matter what you wear, people are trying to smash because there's something about you, you're probably a very sexy girl. And the beauty of knowing which way you lean, even if you think you're both, is that you know how to cultivate more of what you like and less of what you don't.
Sure.
I think distinction matters.
So
I agree.
which one are you?
Yeah, which
Blue?
one are you?
Oh, shit.
Because I'm trying to
I think I cute.
clearly a boy can pick it up.
I think I cute.
Nah,
I think
friend,
I
I
cute.
don't know if I agree with that.
That's fine. I meant it. I meant it. I'm
So,
sorry.
of the two-
as
of-
the
of
face
A and
queen, I know
B.
so many ugly, sexy girls. I know a
I do
lot of
too.
girls who I could not call them pretty even if I wanted to, but they're sexy as shit, and I would hook them up with any of my guy friends.
Okay. So of pretty and sexy, you chose
I
cute.
cute.
Is that like host privileges?
Yeah.
Like, is that like,
I chose IQ because I have to come back every week. Y'all are guests. Y'all can leave and come back and dip and get hate mail and whatever. And so it's so interesting that everybody at the thing said sexy. I felt, you said, you definitely, Lulu's, look at Lulu's face. Lulu's like, I like this. I don't mind being the sexy one.
I don't, but sometimes it's like a thing like where I'm not even trying to be sexy, and then like still people are thinking about sex.
Exactly.
And I'm
ding,
like,
ding, 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 ding.
You can't even be like nice to people, or people think you're a lesbian. Like,
Yeah.
'cause just like
that's real. I mean, my body type, I've been over sexualized my entire life.
Exactly.
But it was different, right? And because of that, I leaned more towards the pretty,
Yeah.
right? Because I thought there was something I could do.
You see what
to
she just
tone
she just
down.
made my point after disagreeing with it. Go ahead, Kenya. Talk again how you made a distinction between one
You know,
and
the
then
point
leading
of
to the other.
discourse is to
Okay,
inspire.
look at God.
The point of
I
discourse.
love when
and I'm
the
just
people-
grateful that the Humanized podcast has enlightened me in such a way.
No, there's beauty in knowing which one you're giving
know what I mean?
off. And there've been times where I felt very pretty and I was like, I don't feel sexy right now.
Right,
I'm
but,
like-
I, but
I'm
I
like-
think
I'm
it's
like,
a form of
I'm-
capital that we
I'm like,
leverage.
yeah, I'm like, these pictures are
and
giving.
all the time.
And then the people who, let me say the thing, I think sexy to me is more democratic.
What do you mean?
I think
I
that
agree with that because
even if the world would never see you as pretty, you always have an opportunity to be sexy.
That's true.
I agree with that because how many times have we seen people's 100 most sexiest man or woman alive and been like, for real?
So this brings me back
It
to
is absolutely democratic.
my original point. Jonathan Majors, he's sexy. And so there have been folks who have had debates about, ooh, his face got a lot of character. And what I'm saying is just don't, you're trying to make him handsome. And he's not conventionally handsome. But he will always be sexy. Even though he reminds me of the Ninja Turtles from the movie, the live action movie in the 90s.
Listen, Jonathan.
Splinter.
Look, here's the thing. Jonathan might actually laugh. I'm not even his type. Pause.
Do you have what
What's
does
his
that have
type?
to do?
No,
Yeah,
I'm saying he would not. I'm not the demographic that he's trying to find him attractive. So.
you don't know that?
Oh.
Back to this man.
No, we
Back to this man.
Oh,
what,
yeah.
What would he say?
He is about me or about himself?
Yeah,
About-
what did
about you.
he say?
I can't say that because clearly he watched the show and was inspired by Lulu, which was if I give any details, he's gonna know I'm talking about him.
He gonna know
As
Probably
far
knows
as-
anyway.
As far as he knows, there's many men who
She said many
many
men.
men.
Or women or people. You know what I mean?
Look, I'm
Throw that.
pansexual. So let's now
Throw
that since we're talking about sexy, let's talk
Yeah.
about the queen of sexy, the patron saint of my home. If you come to my house, there's a big old candle of her
Yes.
dressed like Mary or Jesus or somebody. Rihanna. Rihanna last night did a thing. She did a thing,
Indeed,
guys.
Indeed.
So we were all in the house or at the pub or at the party watching her do her halftime show, which is weird because I felt like I was watching a Rihanna show and waiting for the Super Bowl to get out her way. And we're going to talk about the Super Bowl in a second because I do have thoughts about the Super Bowl. And you guys are very sporty, so I know I kind of have to do it for y'all. When she came on the All Red, the minute I saw the belt hoisted under the belly, I knew she was pregnant. Only because as a plus size woman, I'm not accentuating my stomach for no reason. I'm not gonna say, "Hey, look at my fupa," unless there's a baby in it. You know what I mean? And so there was a debate in the room. I hit up Jason Lee. Shout out Jason, because I was like, Jason, you're like down the hall from her at the Super Bowl right now. Is this an announcement? Of course, Jason, because he loves Rihanna, and said, "You know damn well I can't answer that question, Blue." He answered me in like 3 seconds, and then the internet quickly told me afterwards, yes, she is pregnant.
Right.
I have feelings around the performance, but I don't want to taint you guys. So we're going to go with Kenya first. She's our guest, and everybody knows Lulu already. Kenya, what were your honest thoughts about the Super Bowl performance?
Okay.
I'm not.
I was ready. Production value, I think, was top tier.
Okay.
Production value. As a Black woman, I particularly appreciated just the way she flexed her agency with it.
Yes, free agency.
I really enjoyed that. Super Bowl halftime shows are to be entertaining.
Yeah.
It's a performance to entertain, right?
Yeah.
Agreed.
And it is also about viewership. Let's be clear, right? That's currency. There's all
those
kinds
commercials
of stats.
made that clear.
Right. You know, they charge in 10 mil for 30 seconds, right? We're going to get to some of those commercials in a second too. But, you know, it's about viewership. It's about ratings. It's about entertainment. And I think tens across the board for her in that venue. As a Rihanna stan, as somebody who has been eager and excited to see her and receive her in however which way she wants to show up, to be honest with you.
We'll take
which is
whatever
what
we get,
got.
Rihanna. We will take whatever.
You know, of
we get
course,
from
I
you.
was. I have. There's never been a time where I have seen Rihanna perform and I have not been like, oh, more. You know what I mean? I'm always like, please more, right? But it was giving. You know, I made a Billy first, right? The whole performance. I was the first one to a Billy. Out of the squad, and it also first woman to a Billy out of the squad, and it also gave, you know, I am. You might have discovered me via music, but music is not how you're going to remember me.
When she pulled that powder puff out, I was like, this lady has just confirmed with her baby belly and her products that she's never again doing music.
Right? No, she's
I'm
very
just
clear.
gonna make babies and billions and screw
Music
everybody
is how
else.
you met me, but it's not going to be how you remember me, and I respect that. I had a great time. I was bobbing on my couch, having a great time. She
I-
got hits, the production, the drones. Can we talk about the drones, the angles? You know me
Yeah.
in the production.
Can we talk about the little sperm cells? Was that what she was doing? Because I felt like the dancers were dressed like sperm cells.
It
And
was
she
a
was the
nod to
egg.
Andre. You talked about this.
No, I'm talking about the white.
The white.
The white. The dancers, when I realized that she was pregnant, I was like, she's like dressed like an egg. And they're like little white sperm cells. Nobody else saw that but me? Okay. I had an edible before the show.
I did see that. Somebody like posted something
Yeah,
like
they
that.
did.
Really? I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy the internet without me seeing it already agrees with me. 'Cause I was like, am I going to be
internet does agree with
controversial
you.
right now?
No, they
That it
do.
look like sperm cells running towards
It's already
Rihanna?
me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut to
It's meme?
ASAP. Yeah, it's
Send
absolutely
me the meme.
memed.
Lulu, what did you think about the performance? And you can be honest here. We're not going to judge you.
I mean, I love Rihanna. I feel like for the most part, she can do no wrong. I thought she looked beautiful. I agree. Like the production quality was amazing. I thought as far as the Super Bowl performance is concerned, it was a little low energy,
She's in her second trimester.
which is fair.
I
And
think it's
that's-
so weird that
and I
people
think
wanted
it's-
somebody in their second trimester to pop a wheelie and
But
like
but
she's
no,
in her
no, no.
second trimester.
But again, I feel like it's fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was entertained, like you said.
I was thoroughly entertained.
And so I'm like, sure, good. And she didn't bring out any people, which I thought was cool.
She did bring out people. She had a special guest in her stomach. Here's my opinion. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't like all Rihanna's performances. I've seen several that I thought were lackluster, but this wasn't one of them.
Have you ever seen her in concert?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm a stand, but I'm also, compulsively whatever I am. I don't like all her stuff on default.
Yeah.
So I purely liked it because I actually liked it, not because I think she's always great. Because there was a time in the beginning where she was still figuring out how to, like, she wanted to dance or just sing. And there was some awkward performances. And then as she's gotten older, to your point about the free agency and this whole sexy conversation we had, the more sexy she feels in her body, the more comfortable she's in her skin, the better her performance is, whether she dances or not.
I agree.
The
with
better
that,
you show
yeah.
up in life in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
agree
in the
with that
beginning, they were
too.
trying to make her be a dancer, and it wasn't. She could do a bop now, but in the beginning, it was a little awkward for her because Beyonce and them were doing acrobatics.
And I feel like Rihanna is like the type where she can dance, like if she's in a party, like in a basement or something like that. Like
She's a bashment party dancer.
Yeah.
But that was
Like
the choreo
choreo.
Paris gave us. Paris gave us that choreography.
Shout out to Paris. I love a good
She
full-bodied
did.
girl who can drop it and
Come
pick it
on.
back up.
And whine it.
I love it. Paris made me feel like I should have been on that stage.
But that's the magic.
Y'all have a sip because
That's the
this
magic.
conversation tastes different when you drink.
Okay.
Lulu, you sipped before we even started. So
I
you-
know that's why I was waiting.
She got a hand slap. She said, "Stop sipping that drink."
Oh, this is beautifully tasting. Hold on. What is this? Red Bull and bourbon? Okay. Guys, we're gonna be toasting to sexy bitches.
Sexy bitches.
To being sexy bitches. Salute.
Cheers.
Salute. For those of
Salute
you
to that.
who are hearing us on Spotify, Apple, whatever else, and you know how we do this. We always have to gulp or slurp or something. This is an ASMR podcast, apparently. Wow, Kenya, you're really good at that. They're gonna actually come back.
You know, I'm just trying to please the people.
I was telling them earlier how the viewers don't comment as much under the videos, but will flood my DMs like they think we're having a personal one-on-one conversation.
You
Hey,
been engaged
viewers.
with the people?
Hey guys, the comments section is where comments go. What I don't need is 100 requests after every episode from strangers wanting to have a conversation with me about the topics. I love that I come off that approachable, but I don't need that.
Yeah.
That's good engagement numbers though.
I'd rather have the engagement in public than have it in my DMs where I'm not
Just
reading
capture
them.
the data and do something else with it. You know
Maybe
what I
I'll capture the data. Now, we talked about the show and her special guest in her belly.
mean?
And I got emotional last night when it hit me about the Andre Leon Talley thing.
Mm.
And for those of you who haven't been watching the internet or who went to bed after the show was over, Andre Leon Talley is known for his caftans and his big coats. And she actually wore one of his pieces that's going to be featured in an exhibit about him, because I think Bevy posted about it. She wore it actually during the performance, and they were very close. And I felt like when Andre passed away, he had such a huge impact on fashion. I was stunned by almost a deafening silence when he passed. Like there was no epic tributes. There was there was nothing to speak to his legacy. And it freaked me out that someone could do everything that you're meant to do to have a legacy and have it be so quiet or defamatory on the other hand. Because they were either talking about how he couldn't pay his rent or they said nothing. And so I actually felt kind of moved that Rihanna was writing that by saying, no, this was my friend and I loved him and he had an impact and look at these fashions, right? So it brings me to the question of, what do you think your legacy will be through your friends when you're no longer here? Because when you think about it, there's an old saying that as long as people remember you, you're always alive.
Yeah.
So you die 2 deaths. You die a death when you pass away, and you die second death the last time you're ever mentioned. So, like, what do you guys think you're like? I'll start with you first, Lulu, because you were looking at me like, oh, snap. Lulu has about 17 brothers and sisters who are all taller than her.
Oh my goodness.
At 5'10", she's the shortest person in her family.
I am the
Wow.
I know. So, aside from your 17 siblings,
It's only 3 of us. I mean, there's 4. There's 3 of them.
Lulu has 3 like that are blood, but then she has like a bunch of cousins and stuff.
I do.
What do you think your legacy is gonna be? Or what would you like it to be?
I mean, I would like it to be that I was here for a good time.
Oh,
That I was always
wait a minute. Nobody
And obviously not a long time.
not a long time either. Like, cause I
Comparatively.
always want to bring like a lightness to, you know, to
Yeah.
people, into an environment and stuff like that. And like, I made people feel good, and like, I love to laugh, and
Your
hopefully-
laugh was heavily mentioned in the DMs. They're like, oh, we love Lulu's laugh. So clearly that's your signature friend.
It's a thing. I have a friend who's like, every time, like if I'm at a party or something, and he's like, I'm trying to figure out where it is. Like, he was like, I just listen to you laughing, and I'm like, oh, it's over
Aw.
there.
And it's sincere laughter too.
I really think it's funny. One time I was dating this guy, and he was like, it's not that funny. And I was like, it is. If you could see like the picture that I have in my head.
You'll
be laughing like me too.
She just laughed halfway through her own reminiscence. Didn't you say that you couldn't date somebody one time because he didn't find your jokes funny? And
Yes.
you
And I
Who is to be laughing by themselves? You would not laugh by yourself.
I laugh at people by myself all the time.
But you
that
not-
could be mean though.
If Bay didn't laugh at your jokes.
Oh no, Bay, yeah, no, you gotta laugh.
Right.
You gotta laugh at me.
like, I'm hilarious. I'm pulling a rabbit out my
She
head.
said, I'm hilarious.
tap dancing, and he just sitting there like,
No,
I once tried to date somebody who didn't like art. I was like, I'm all creative, so like we're not meant to be together.
Yeah.
How about you? What's your legacy to be?
Well, legacy is a really important word for me, friend. I don't know if you know this, but I wear legacy around my neck, literally.
Oh, that's so kismet. Show us to the camera. Look at how
Perfect.
pretty that looks. It's that
Wait.
legacy.
Let me find my angles. There it is.
I had a friend one time who got pregnant a lot, and her first kid was called. No, this is going somewhere. I promise. The bourbon has just hit, guys. The bourbon's in the building. She got pregnant a lot, and her first baby was called Premier because it was the first one. Her second baby was called Deja, as in deja vu, because it was the second one, and the last one was called Legacy. She got her tubes tied.
Wow.
Yeah.
wow.
I just want.
Wow.
Really? Look, shout out to the Black community and the colorful ways in which we name our children. So
No.
legacy is a big deal for you.
Legacy is a huge deal for me. I've got my firm, my company's name is the Legacy Firm.
Shut them out. Really?
Yeah.
So Kenya is a big deal, guys.
Yeah.
In Kenya's episode, we're gonna talk about what a big deal she is. And Lulu, are you gonna stay for that one?
Sure.
Oh
so
my
much
goodness.
fun.
That's
All right.
fun. So no, legacy means everything to me. What I would love to be known for is somebody who lifted as she climbed, and that I'm a nation builder.
I love that.
And if that is all they said, I'd be pleased with that.
Kenya has a press release apparently, and I love it. I love how polished you are. No, seriously.
It's true.
I love
though.
how Lulu's like, I'm
Has
here
that
for a
not
good
been-
time.
Has that not been how I show up?
It
though?
is, but Lulu's like, I'm here for a good time.
I'm here
And
for a good
Kenya's
time, too.
like,
Isn't that how I show up?
yes, like Kenya's like, Kenya's like, per my manifesto, my legacy shall be.
It's right though. It's good.
I
I
love-
mean,
oh,
I'm
no,
clear
I'm-
about my mission.
I'm gonna have you both back at the same time often because this is a great juxtaposition. I really am. it goes from the craziest, Lulu. That's you.
La, la, la.
Uh-huh.
You know?
And then it gets real polished, and I'm somewhere in the middle where I'm
I'm
slightly.
not all buttoned up, Blue.
Of course not.
You know?
We about to turn up, and
I'm just clear. If you ask me questions that resonate
ready,
with my
babe?
being and how I identify, I'm very, very clear, just as is Lulu, as are you.
oh, Lulu was very clear. My legacy
know?
is simple. I want to be the person who made emotional intelligence sexy.
Okay.
And you know what?
I want it to be
Doing
seen
it.
as fun
Yeah.
and sexy to be emotionally intelligent, and I think that's why I'm intentionally goofy. I
Yeah.
think that's why I show my problematic sides. I think that's why I'm so uncensored because everybody thinks that if you are a coach or if you are healthy means boring.
Yeah.
I'm having more fun than half of you toxic motherfuckers. Like so, like I want to show that you can be healthy and
Yeah.
still be like having a great goddamn time.
Well, I think that means that you look at life through a lens that is informed
Yeah.
by what you
Yeah.
are experiencing. How many times do people have a misaligned lens? You know what I mean?
How many times
to
do
be
people not even
emotionally
know what a lens
intelligent,
is and they're just walking around bumping into walls?
Truly.
That's it.
You know who wasn't bumping into walls though? ASAP Rocky when he put that second baby in Rihanna. Like that segue. So right now I want to talk about the friend zone, guys.
I mean, you know, they did their thing.
No, well, people in LA talk.
Breaking news, since this is going out, breaking news, it's saying, now there's some conflicting reports on numbers now, okay? So before this Super Bowl, Katy Perry held the record for the most views ever seen.
That feels like white supremacy, but continue.
It does, right?
Yeah, it does.
So Fox, which I don't quote often.
Tomato,
all right,
tomato,
but
continue.
Fox quoted that Rihanna has surpassed Katy Perry and that this was the most watched Super Bowl halftime show ever and the most watched Super Bowl ever. And 5 million more people watched the halftime show than watched the game, which also says something.
By the way, Katy Perry is Rihanna's former best friend, so that's awkward. That your
Really?
bestie who stopped talking to you done took your record.
They seem like a very odd pair.
Oh no! If you Google Katy Perry and Rihanna back in like the 2000s,
Googling right
thick,
now.
thick as
Yeah, I was
thieves.
about to say, were they on the same label? The fuck?
Thick as thieves. Here's the thing about being the oldest person in the room all the time is I be remembering stuff that y'all was still in like high school when it happened, but like no, they were thick as thieves, and then they suddenly just stopped being friends. I'm not gonna speculate on why.
Dude.
And you know what's so funny about you saying that is I was thinking about friendship because I was segueing to the fact that ASAP Rocky was in the crowd like a proud papa.
Oh my God. Did y'all
So
see
proud.
his custom jacket?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
How could we not?
how
super
could we?
great.
He made sure that we all saw it. But my question is,
super great.
Lulu talked about how her man waited 17 years. ASAP, even though I know he wasn't sitting around being celibate like a nun, he waited a good amount of years before he got his chance to like, hey friend, I know it's a pandemic. Can I take you? You know what I mean? Like it took him a
Right.
while. Would you, if you fell for someone and you really cared about them, how long would you be willing to wait for them to be ready for you?
Is
That's a
this
good question.
is this going to inform your decisions over the next 3 months?
Oh, no, I'm the one who's getting waited on. So I'm minding my goddamn business. I'm the one who's getting, don't know. But how long would you wait for somebody that you really were like, you can't see it now because you in the thick of it, into the thick of it?
I
But
mean,
I'ma
as
wait
long as
for
as
you.
long as it's aligned with what I want to do, I don't
Oh, we
find
need,
I
we
don't
need
find
numbers,
myself.
friend. We got eggs. You
I
need
don't
numbers.
well, it depends on where I am. If I'm in the middle of a pandemic and I don't know when that mess is going to end, you probably have more time.
Right now, how long would you wait for somebody if you were really convinced this was your person?
Wait
Mm-hmm. I will wait for you.
months?
That means less than a year. So Kenya's
Less
answer,
than a year.
Less than a year. How long would you wait?
Like wait, like on ice?
Yo,
like
you sound upset, friend. This is hypothetical.
because
No, ASAP was still smashing and living his life while he was waiting on her. Like it wasn't like literally you're in a cave
okay, so
somewhere.
waiting is relative.
Waiting means like I'm gonna do what I do, but I know you're circling back to me before I completely give up on you.
Oh well, you know we live in then. You
So
know?
more than months.
I'm trying to get where I'm trying to go in like a year.
So she's still within the year.
I'm still.
I love how when Kenya reiterates, she's like, "No, it's my same answer."
that means sure.
No, that means,
Trust but verify.
that means you miss
That
shit.
means I mean
That
it.
you mean shit. How about
I
you?
mean it.
Oh Lord, Lulu. Lulu is a flight risk. So Lulu, how long would you wait? How many hours, days?
Oh wait, 68 seconds. No,
She's not joking.
I'm
y'all.
just kidding. No, I feel like the dynamic is different for women.
Absolutely.
So I don't really see myself waiting at all.
Told you.
Yeah, like I
I
probably
said minutes and I was
But
being
that's what I'm
nice.
saying. Waiting. What does that? Does that mean I'm
No,
gonna
no.
I'm gonna
You're-
force myself from
no,
not advancing another relationship?
Nobody
because
said
I know
that. I said
you're,
living your life, but still knowing that I have you earmarked because I feel like you're gonna circle back to me because you're my person. Lulu's like,
Okay.
we ain't even doing
listen.
that.
I'm the daughter of a psychologist. The key to mental health is having options and choices.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
So my answer is, my waiting years are over. My waiting years, I've had moments where I have waited for folks and still lived a beautiful, lush life.
Yeah.
And then they did circle back and the shit wasn't worth it. So funny enough, I would have waited years previously. I would have waited months up until last year. When I tell you I'm not waiting for shit, you gotta catch me.
Yeah, I feel
I'm
the
in
same
my catch me
way.
if you can years right now. But I think that Kenya, you probably have the most balanced and relatable answer because most people, I'm not waiting at all because I've waited too long. I've gone to the other extreme, right? She's not waiting because she keep her head on the swivel. I love my friend. But like you probably have the most balanced answer because I think sometimes not everybody knows who their person is at the same time.
Yeah, that's really the
Yeah.
key.
There's a whole book called In the Meantime by Yana Vizada about what happens when,
Yes.
when you have a vision, but the
Yep.
vision hasn't had you yet, and there's
Yep.
a space in between. So it's beautiful that you have the grace for the In the Meantime.
Well,
Mine is dead.
I'm just always willing to
grace is
acknowledge
dead.
what I know and what I don't know.
Yeah.
beautiful,
Right.
friend.
I'm always willing to do that. I make plans. God has other plans. You know, I just posted the other day about how, you know, holding on to the visions that we have for ourselves while acknowledging that the plans that we made didn't actualize in the time that we thought they were going to is a hell of a faith walk.
I'm writing everything in pencil.
It's a hell of a faith walk.
I can't. I don't think past a month. I used to live in the future. Now I don't even try to think past the week. I'm like, look, I can make some light evergreen plans, but I'm not married to anything that's too far out because I want to stay in the moment. So we think that it's a beautiful thing that ASAP, you know, let himself grow up and be the man that she needed when she was ready for him.
And again, I think it's different for men. Like I feel like he was like, I want to be with Rihanna, so when she's ready,
Yeah,
I got
she
to be
makes her
ready.
billions.
And he
I
has
need to be ready.
And he has no ex to expire.
Yeah.
So you peep how the minute she chose him, she was like, look, I got about half a dozen left. Let's fertilize these things.
And also, like, I think it's the same thing with my current man and now, like, he watched me act the fool for like 18 years.
He did. Yeah, that's a lot. Oh, that's a man shit.
Yeah, he watched me act the fool and he was like, all right, like, and me going through everything that I went through, like, if he would have tried to get at me like probably 10, maybe even 15 years ago, I'd be like,
He waited for you to be ready for love.
Does he throw that? Does he bring that up to you? Does
Not
he
at
be
all.
like, you?
That's some woman shit. Like we've been socialized to be the ones who be like, and you made me wait.
You know that?
And you, this mother sucker, made, it'd be like if a woman waited that long and she was late for dinner.
Oh, you're never hearing that.
She'd be like, you're an hour late. You're 18 years late, knocker. Like
It's the ultimate.
like we would
It's
not
the
have
ultimate
grace.
ultimate
trump
trump card. Right?
Men have
ultimate
so
trump
much
card.
more grace for certain things, and
For sure.
and we don't give them credit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Certain things.
I chose my words for it. Men have another thing too about men. Like, look at Diddy, and I'm not gonna speak ill of Diddy because I want to go to one of his parties. But like, he had a baby on Carisha, no big deal, and then got upset when she was flirting with G Herbo. I was like, she's flirting. You sired a
and they
seed.
arrangement. It's their arrangement.
No, but I'm just saying, but that just shows you that men have their own hypocrisies about.
For
I'm gonna put a
sure.
baby in her,
Fragilities?
but you can't be talking to him too close.
Fragilities.
Fragilities is a great word.
I feel like he was faking. Like he was like,
absolutely,
you
he
know
was
what I
faking.
mean? Like,
But he was faking
blow up
something that
into
happens in real life,
headlines.
though. Like men actually do that. In
No,
real
men
life.
do
He
do
could
that.
fake it because it was real.
Yeah, he could
right?
fake it.
Like
Yeah.
there's truth in comedy.
The men in the
For
shade
sure.
room didn't know he
Yeah.
was faking. They're like, "Here, brother, tell her to sit down." I'm like, "Bruh, he just had a baby. You all need to sit down." Speaking of sitting down, this is also the first year. Oh my God, I don't even recognize myself. I forgot it was Valentine's Day until this morning. Like tomorrow is Valentine's
Tomorrow
Day,
is Valentine's
and I
Day.
forgot until this morning when somebody said, "What are you doing for Valentine's Day?" I was like, "Oh shit, that's tomorrow." The old me would already be like queuing up, waiting to exhale in January, wondering if the person that I was supposed to be with was going to do right
On
by
deck.
me. So I love this for me, guys.
The person that you had in your mind that you was waiting for.
No, the person I was either with, wondering if the
With?
person I'm with was going to do
Okay.
right by me, or the person who I broke up with was going to circle back.
Circle
Like,
back.
I love this whole
Circle
no
the
drama, like no.
It's peaceful over here.
I love this for me.
Isn't it good?
Yeah.
It's
I would have
peaceful
done this a
over here.
long time ago if I knew this is what it looked like on this
Come
side
on.
of the fence. So my question is, what are you guys doing for Valentine's Day? Ooh, not the pregnant pause. You in a relationship, bitch. You better go first.
I'm actually not doing shit because
Oh.
no.
The pressure's off me and you. It's like I'm not doing shit.
I'm not because he lives far from me.
Uh-huh.
So, and he works really early on Wednesday. He was gonna come out, and I was like, why? Like, we went out on Saturday. We went to dinner. Like, we'll hang out this weekend. It doesn't have to be on the
Can
day.
I just say that if a woman waited 18 years and the person she waited on was like, why we gotta do it on the actual day? She would blow up his car. Like I love the amount of grace this man has.
He has so much. He's so patient. Jesus Christ.
A patient man is sexy.
It's
A
very
patient man is
sexy.
sexy as hell.
patient man is
A,
sexy.
very
a patient man, this is a life hack. Men, if you are patient and actually mean it, you're more likely to get
Oh my
blowjobs.
God.
Yeah. Yep.
All the things.
I once gave somebody a blowjob that I was not expecting because I was just so impressed by his
Patient.
maturity. I was like, you're
Here's
so
the thing.
mature.
I think if men
Give me a hair tie.
Mature.
You're
Always
so
crack me
mature.
up.
I think all your male listeners right now need to be really taking notes because you dropped
absolutely.
so many gems on the currency exchange. See, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Men, I think, come to the table expecting that what they value is universally applicable because society generally
Society be
rewards
lying.
Yeah.
masculinity
For
and
sure.
masculine structures.
Yeah.
But
I
you know,
had my first super hyper masculine cis hetero man on it's an episode that we taped recently.
Okay.
It's gonna be coming out at the end of the month. Like when I tell you the minute he walks into the room, you can tell he's from the block.
Oh,
Okay, beef and broccoli Tim, super New York, like
Let's
he's
go.
from the block, all right? Like he's a real nigga. Like he should have been in Wu-Tang, right? Like
let's go.
But then when he's with his girl,
Season 3 is coming out. I'm really excited about that. I just have to say it.
plug, when he's with his girl, he wakes up in the morning to cook her breakfast.
As
And
he
we were
should.
talking,
Yeah.
and she was in the other room doing something, her makeup or something. We were talking, and she came out. He was like, "Okay, it was fun talking to you, but my girlfriend's here now. I gotta go." And then he ran over like, "Baby, I love you." And I was like,
Precious.
"I was like, but you a nigga from the block? What just happened?"
Dichotomy.
But
Listen,
and then my friend Sarita, shout out to Sarita, she sent me a link today about a video that says that when men are truly in love, their testosterone levels actually drop.
Really?
Yeah, and they get a little bit stupider because they're so in love.
Well, we get stupider, so it's only fair.
Yeah.
it's
So
only
my
fair.
thing is, no, we get stupid when we're digmatized. It's a different kind of stupid.
I think love too.
I think love.
I don't think love makes. I think attachment makes us stupid.
I think love has a stronger hold on us than the dick.
Yeah, I've actually never been
really do.
stigmatized.
I have a controversial and unpopular
I do.
opinion.
What is that? You controversial
Right.
and unpopular
Surprise,
opinion? What?
First of all, I'm very popular. I'm
Fringe?
just playing.
You?
No, I know. Here's my opinion. I think a lot of things that people call love, particularly women, are attachment and status symbols.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of women in particular who were loyal to men, not because the men were good to them or they're equally yoked or a good partner, but because they wanted to have a man to prove that they were lovable, and because they invested so much in nurturing him that they didn't want another bitch to get the spoils of their work.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's not love, that's attachment.
Yeah.
But I think actual love, I think we actually get very smart when we're in love. I think when a woman is in healthy love, she acts more like Lulu, like, I'm going to be discerning. We ain't got to do this. I think we actually become more logical when we're in healthy love. But when we're in a love that is a symbol that we have to show off for the gram or for our families, or we're in a love that is attachment, like we don't want another girl to get him, that's when we get stupid. But to me, that's not love, that's attachment. So I think love actually makes us a little bit wiser.
Is love not subject? I mean, love is both subjective and objective, right?
Yes, but I think there's some universal laws of love. Let me just put it this way. I do lots of tarot readings and spiritual readings. 90% of the people who come to me for heartbreak don't have broken hearts. They have bruised egos.
Oh,
I think that's for sure.
So that's
okay.
why I'm saying
Yep.
what a lot of women are
Yep.
socialized to call love is tethered to what society tells us that love means about our value. Like, perfect example, if I do something amazing and my husband is on some fuck shit, the tabloids would want to talk about Blue says she's smart, but she with this dummy. But men could have the dumbest girlfriend and it never comes up as far as their worth.
Yeah.
Our worth is always tethered to our partnerships,
Agreed.
even when we're badass bitches.
Agreed.
And so subconsciously, we sometimes think we're in love, but we're actually, our egos are investing because the optics are going to look bad if this ends up being a bad investment. So I think that women in love a lot of times are actually women who are attached because society has made us attached so that we don't look stupid.
But if that is the love that you've only known, right? If attachment
Exactly.
is love to, if the way in which you have been loved is via attachment,
That means
right?
that means
Then we
you've never
pass
had
along-
love.
Well, but that's why I mean about subjective versus objective,
Yeah.
because if I am enacting, if I'm practicing love as it was practiced or as I received it, right, then I'm enacting the closest thing to love that I know.
Or what you think was
What you
love.
think
Right, or
love,
what I
yeah.
thought. That's what I'm saying.
I think that you sincerely thinking something inaccurate doesn't make it any less inaccurate, but it's still valid. You can be inaccurate and still be valid.
Okay.
So you could have your ego bruised and think it's a heartache, and the pain was valid, and then you fall in love for real in a way that's healthy. You're like, oh, my bad, that was turkey bacon.
All I'm saying is
Yeah,
that
my
for
bad.
every-
That
for
wasn't what I
every
thought it
sister
was.
who dreams of having a ASAP Poppy at the bottom of the stage,
I will wait
with,
for
with
you.
the camera phone out and
Yes.
the custom leather
That
jacket,
is love.
looking hype as hell, rooting on.
Yeah.
I pray that comes to you in this next year, sis.
I do too. And the
I
thing
really
is
do.
too, so the women who are watching who are triggered because I just accidentally described your relationship.
Ooh. Yikes.
Humanized. I need you to know that a lot of times when we say we want to be loyal, we just
Yeah.
don't want to admit that we invested in the wrong thing. I think loyalty is a lie a lot of times. I think when people say loyalty, they weaponize that word. They don't want to admit that they misinvested. And I'm saying that dragging myself.
Sure.
I was in a situation for 10 years. I was like, yo, I'm loyal to a fault. And then I went on the other side of therapy, realized I just didn't want to admit my friends and family were right. I didn't want to admit that I picked the wrong person. I wanted to think that my
That's
love could cure
hard.
him and change him and make him better and X, Y, and Z. And the whole time it was my ego not wanting to admit that I had chosen incorrectly. And I think anybody who's watching that who thinks that they're loyal and in love right now and attached, give yourself permission to just be like, oopsie. Oof. Oops. Look at Kenya's face.
On Harlem, they talk about, everybody needs a takesy backsy.
Yeah.
We all need a takesy
My entire
backsy.
30s, takesy backsy, okay?
Takesy backsy.
My entire 30s was a takesy backsy.
But it's like and also I tell people, even when you have those situations, you even shouldn't feel bad about it because you had to learn.
I don't feel bad.
You had to figure it
But
out.
you're not going to know unless you learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly.
Love and learn.
But here's the
Love
thing,
and
though.
learn.
You can't learn from a mistake that you refuse to admit you made.
True.
So that's why I'm
Lessons have to be
puritanical about
received.
that's why I'm puritanical about not calling attachment love.
Yeah.
Because that's me finding a way to like not admit that I was attached and not in love.
But most people are not as emotionally evolved and intelligent as you to learn in
Oh,
real
you better
time.
come in like,
Blue,
give me
agreed.
you know I got praise king.
Most
What else?
people,
friend?
most people can't learn in real time like that,
Yeah,
right?
that's
So
true.
hindsight is the best teacher for most folks. And the hindsight most of the time comes from a new experience that shows you
Yeah.
what you thought you knew that you didn't know from the
Yeah.
old one. You know what I'm saying?
In the streets, we call
unless they
that-
have
yeah.
access to folks like you to tell them about themselves.
All I need is
the time.
Wi-Fi and us.
That's it.
That's
it.
Blue, this
That's
is what
it.
happened. Is it okay? All right.
I'm telling you, it's so fun when I have therapists take my workshops because the therapist is like, Blue's a coach, I'm a therapist. So there's a hierarchy.
Friend, I really on the next round, I'm in there. On the next round, I'm in
let
there.
me tell you,
I
yes.
really wanted to this time. It just
I wish you had 'cause
timing and the-
this class. When I tell you, is lit.
Can I do a speed round? No.
I mean, if
This
you
round of classes?
Yeah.
the emotional intelligence workshops.
Oh.
Oh, hey guys, if you guys are interested, I do something called the Own Thy Shift emotional intelligence workshop.
It's good, y'all.
It's great.
good.
And the beauty of is who heals the healers, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I love that I have so many alphas, when I tell you it's a bunch of alphas, all the know-it-alls, everybody comes to me, they end up in that class. Because they very rarely feel that they're meeting somebody who is confrontational and rigorous, but not egocentric enough, who will push them, but doesn't need to be right.
Right.
So in my class, there have been times where I've been like, never thought of that. That's a great point. Who else did that resonate to, right? And I think my gift this season of my life is I love being a safe space for the alphas. Because the alphas don't have safe spaces, friends.
Yeah.
You're both alphas, so I'm looking at you. And
I was like, you've always been that for me. Friend.
yeah, no, the alphas
Always been that for me.
don't have safe spaces.
It's tough. It's
Yeah.
tough. It's tough. And not because, in order to be an alpha, I really do think you have to have a different relationship with vulnerability. So I don't think that
Yeah.
it's tough for us because we lack vulnerability. I think it's tough for us because the world is less forgiving of the times that we have to come back to the well,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Less forgiving. And I think we even see that applied with even these discussions about Rihanna and comparisons to what this pregnancy looked like versus this pregnant performance looked like. And all of
Right.
these
Yeah.
toxic, horrible things that we do when we compare
lonely
one
at the
alpha
top.
walk versus another alpha walk. We are
Yeah.
much less forgiving of alphas who do it differently or try a new thing or
Sure.
fail or have to come back to replenish. We're much less forgiving because alpha to us
Yeah.
means, if we're honest with ourselves, right? I think our definition of alpha is constant, and I think that that's unfair,
It's dehumanizing.
right?
It's to you. And also, too, I always say, I'm not an alpha, guys. I'm alpha presenting.
I feel like I'm alpha presenting too.
I'm a beta who just has a lot of bass in her voice and my brain works fast. Like, I'm actually,
But that
I'm
makes
beta
you
as
an
fuck.
alpha
All
in
my
a lot of
exes.
rights. I mean, I think what the
know.
tools that you use to navigate, my definition of alpha is the tools that you use to navigate your life, your
Yeah.
circumstances.
Mhm.
Either they are at average, above average, or below average. And
Ooh,
you operate
she
with
said
a
some of
set
y'all
of elite
slow.
tools. Ooh,
She said some of y'all
I'm
slow.
just saying, some
Not
of these
everybody
tools are
can
not
come.
as sharp as they need to be to cut through what you need to in life, right?
Yikes.
And alpha is leadership.
What do you do when you meet somebody who wants to be an alpha and you don't need it, but they're not able? That's been happening to me a lot. Like, we both want you to take the lead, friend, but you're not good at this.
Oh, man.
Like,
Yeah,
what do you
I mean,
do
you
when
gotta-
when you meet an
You
alpha
be
wannabe?
honest.
Oh, I
You
mean,
be honest and you talk about, listen, there's two people in a boat.
one of us is gonna stay
One
with
of us,
both.
one of us is gonna get us across the way.
Oh
and the
my
other,
gosh.
Might be good at singing songs to keep the other one.
Oh, not the
energized.
song. Swing low.
You ain't had to go on BHM with it. You know what I mean?
Could you date someone who? Because I think beta men have a purpose too, right? Like my mom is super alpha,
Yeah.
But for her, it's more of a trauma response. I think if she was more empowered, like I am,
a lot of
she
us,
would
I
admit
think it
that she was alpha presenting and actually a beta.
Yeah.
But she's just kind of is gonna die on this hill of being alpha, and her partner is beta presenting. But I think he actually wants to be alpha, but he realizes he can't stay in the house if he is. So
Which makes him an alpha in his knowledge and understanding of it, and that's my
He
thing.
like, I'm gonna
It's
have to sit this one
if
out.
you know your role and
Yeah.
you know what you know. Listen, I always talk
If you
to
know who the mortgage
I talk
is
to my
under.
teams and I talk to my teams, my staff. I talk all the time about 90th percentiles, right? I
Yeah.
try to get outside of the leader archetypes.
Yeah.
Stay in your 90th percentile. If my 90th percentile is service because I can read and see what's coming ahead, then alpha, beta, whatever. That's my 90th percentile.
Get in where you fit in, ladies and gentlemen.
That's my 90th percentile.
But also, I think there's definitely something to be said about a man who allows a woman to be an alpha, and there's not a power struggle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've had my man leave
Shout
me
out
from
to you, Pops. Shout
my
out to
man
you.
leave me from the back.
Oh.
This is what I'm saying.
Wait,
lead you
it got
from the
sexual.
back.
I knew what you meant.
Lead you from the
Okay.
back. Listen, I'm gonna say it sexually, so make sure
Pause for a second.
tune in.
Kenya came on my show and said, my man leave me from the back.
Lead me from the back.
And y'all thought I wasn't going to pause.
I'm just saying. He leads me from the back. And here's what I'm
she
saying.
keeps
You walk
saying it.
through.
She keeps
you walk,
saying it.
because ratings. I know how this shit works. You listening?
Pew, 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 pew.
Are you listening to me? They're not used to me talking like this.
Talk your shit, queen.
No, but lead from meaning height matters.
Yes.
Okay, full circle moment. We're walking through a crowd. This is an analogy, but follow me.
Yeah.
It's just given.
It's so
All of it
good.
is just
It's
given.
so good,
I see what you
friend.
did
Right?
there.
Okay. So, height matters. We're walking through a crowd. I'm in front. Most men will take your hand, go in front of you, right? And can't control what happens to you
Right.
while you're following him. He can't
Yeah.
control the people nabbing at you,
Yeah.
the men winking at you or women winking at you, right? They can't control any of that, right? Except an intelligent man is like, no, baby, you go.
A secure man, because you can be
secure-
intelligent and still be
It's
emotionally fragile as fuck.
an emotionally intelligent, evolved human
Please.
being who took the Own Thy Shift workshop
Ooh,
with Blue Toulouse, man.
I love you, friend. You coming back? You did all
I
the
gotta
right
plug my
shit.
friend's product. Will lead from. I'm just saying a metaphor, right? But to
Yeah.
say that, like that to me, that was a leadership. When I experienced that for the first time,
You got left in the back.
I was like, wow. It was just a different way of because then he was completely. He could make eye contact.
Yeah.
He could intervene when he needed to, or be like, "You got this."
Right.
He also
And I
didn't
don't
need
need
to be. He also didn't care about the optics and didn't lead to peacock.
And that
For sure.
to me is more alpha. That to me is more alpha.
I
Beta
love
energy to me is me out front all the time, me doing all that. That's beta energy.
Kenny just said that most of the men in LA are betas and don't know it.
I'm born and
I think
raised in
there's a lot
Southern
of-
California.
there's
and
a
I
lot
can
of
say
men
that
who are
for
No, where
real.
you're raised and who's here is different. I'm talking about the transplants be the ones who be the betas the hardest. Oh,
It's a mixed bag.
it's a bit.
spill tea. I'm a transient.
Sister.
No, I'm a transient, so I can only talk shit about the transients. What
Right.
you gotta say about the locals?
Born and
Hit
raised
it.
here. Here's what I will say. All of my successful relationships have been from with people who are not born and raised in Southern California.
Really?
Yes.
You like the transients, girl?
And listen, not the ones with the big dreams that ain't rooted in reality. You know what I mean? We gotta. We
if
gotta.
you are 46 and trying to give out your mixtape, leave Kenya alone.
don't come over here.
What do you think, Lulu, about the transients versus the natives as far as dating?
I really feel like it's a mixed bag. Like I
is.
said, and most of the men I've dated have been from Southern California, which is interesting.
Really?
You don't look pleased, friend. You look like you in pain.
I run from that.
I'll take all of y'all, okay?
I'm like, what was your zip code?
Right. Well, what part of California are you from?
Born and raised in Orange County, where they make
Okay.
all the black people.
Oh, okay.
No.
Cool.
That was sarcasm for anybody who's not from LA. That is not where they make all the black
That's
people.
not where they make it. But
Yeah.
Where you
the
from,
black
Lulu?
family from Orange County. Blue's been to my family's house. Yeah.
Kenya's family is the real life Huxtables, no cliff, right? Like it is so. I love your parents.
Thank you. They love you.
I was getting tipsy at a function and saw Kenya's, and I was talking to somebody, and
They are socialites.
her
in these
parents,
streets.
like, yo, it was
really
like
are.
it was like Beyonce and Jay-Z. They were like, "Is that Blue?" And I was like, "Oh snap!" And I'm like, I'm kikiing up here getting drunk with Kenya's parents.
At the same time, my mama FaceTimes me to be like, is your your friend Blue is here.
I love your
I'm at
mother
home.
so much.
I'm not at the party.
Your mom, I feel like we could get in trouble together. Like,
Davida is a riot.
I love
She's a
mom
riot.
names. Davida.
my mother's name, people can't even pronounce it because it's French.
What is it?
Manot.
Manot.
Manot. It means musical note in French or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me tell y'all something. My mother is spicy but traditional. I remember being like 12 and she said, "Ma chouchou," because she has a very thick accent like Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah.
"Ma chouchou, mon chéri, I need you to find the Playboy for me on the TV." And I was like, "Mom, that's really inappropriate that you want me." And she was like, "But I know you know where it is because I saw you watching it." I was like, "Oh, well, this is just awkward." My mother thought I was a prude and wanted me to be more sexual when I was younger. She thought I was prudish.
Wow.
She was a very spicy, mischievous, like she's
know
76 and
what?
still giggles.
That's very
That's why I like you.
of her.
Why I like you, Lulu. You remind
It's
me of
very
my mom.
non-Black American of her.
It's very hot. It's very hot butt Caribbean of her.
My mom, I've been the same height since 6th grade. Okay,
Me
and was
too.
super developed. And my mother, because this is what she knew to do for her,
Yeah.
right? This behavior protected her at
Yeah.
a time that she needed protection when nobody else was there to protect her. So I don't fault her.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this to her face, but she was hyper aware and very concerned at all times. Making sure I could be
What years were you a teenager? What were your teenage years? Because I feel like the eras matter too.
Oh no, girl, we are only a couple of years apart.
It matters. What years do you claim? I don't know how cognizant you
What
were.
years do you claim?
There's some folks who I think should be claiming my stuff who act like they're younger and I'm gonna give them that. I'm gonna let them have
No,
that.
90s,
the
late
90s.
90s. Yeah, 90s, late
You
90s.
said late 90s. I was already in college. See, so let me tell y'all something. Black don't crack.
I'm younger than you. I'm younger than you, but I ain't
I'm
no
always-
spring chicken. Okay, so
Kenya's saying it's late spring. It's like mid-May. Okay. She's on late spring.
90s to
chicken.
2000.
So see, that's why I asked, because I was a teenager for the 90s. Like
yeah.
me and Aaliyah were teenagers at the same time.
Yeah,
90s.
yeah.
Exactly. So those couple of years matter. And what was interesting is back then everybody was dressing baggy because of the era.
Yeah.
So we were all dressed like vagabonds, right? Just big old shirts and whatnot.
Yeah, but there was the dichotomy.
There was
though.
a dichotomy, but we used to choose. So you could either be the escape girl or the girl who was walking around with her vulva
Right.
hanging out. I was the first girl, and my mother was like, "My shushu, you're gonna look like a panda because your titties are gonna get light." Funny enough,
Oh my god.
one of my first boyfriends, he was like, "Why are your titties so light skinned?" Because I tan. I'm Haitian and Cuban. I tan a lot, so my breasts were like 3 or 4 shades lighter than the rest of me because I was always covered up. Lulu, look at Lulu's face. She's like, But that's how modest I was. I had a farmer's tan from how much I was covering up. And she was like, "Baby, you're never going to find a husband if you're always covered up." That does not feel very American to me. That feels like a very like Latin American Caribbean thing to say. Show off them tits you inherited from me so you can get you a husband.
that never did I ever hear that.
Your mother
ever.
never told you to show it off while you still
Never.
got
To
it?
this day.
Really?
To this day. You were at my house and she
That's
had an
true.
issue. She had an issue with the shirt I was wearing, child.
My mother's biggest compliment is
On my
you're
own show.
sexy. Like if you're pretty, she won't say you're pretty. Like, you're sexy.
That's awesome.
She was like, "Oh my God, your little cousin looks so sexy." She is 16, Mom. We cannot call her that. She looks so. My mother loves the word sexy.
Wow. I like it
Well,
too.
that's sex, but going
Lulu,
back
you
to
remind me of my mother. I feel like I'm working through my mommy issues with Lulu as my friend.
But I love this. I love that the conversation organically went here because we've been talking about pretty versus sexy, right? And I think as we talk about and celebrate another Black woman for the agency in which she flexes and the space
Blow it
that
up,
she
pull it
takes
up.
up,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I feel like more of us should compliment each other on
Absolutely.
how sexy.
But you gotta
we
mean it
are.
though. You gotta mean it. I hate fake compliments.
And be specific about it, because if we can
No,
agree that
seriously.
sexy can mean different things, that
Yeah.
sexy is a
it's an
spectrum,
aura. It's an
Yeah.
right?
aura.
They have all these specific rules around prettiness and symmetry in the face, and you know what I mean, all of those outside of that.
Yeah.
Sexy is this beautiful,
It's democratic as fuck.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Sexy is democratic.
And it changes, I think, with what we expect or have grown to expect as standard behavior in
Yeah,
society. The
sure.
more women like us continue to push the envelope,
I love when you talk your shit, Kenya. Uh-huh.
I'm just saying, the more we do, then we help to expand the definition of what is sexy. Sexy is bold. You
Yeah,
know what I
it
mean?
is.
And
Yeah.
let's say what you want, Rihanna, bitch. You bold. Okay?
Rihanna's bold
That
as
was
hell.
bold
So now, if we're
and
talking,
sexy as hell.
first of all, it's Valentine's Day. How perfect is it that we're having this conversation on
I love
Valentine's Day?
this.
So we talked about how we loved Rihanna and everything that she does because she's sexy. She's
Yeah.
pretty, but sexy is her superpower.
Sexy is her jam.
Right? And because I don't want anybody to be like, oh, you say Rihanna wasn't pretty. And I said Rihanna is her superpower. She's
gorgeous,
It's her
yeah.
sexiness, right?
Sexy.
And I also love the fact that she's in a relationship with someone who was her friend first and understands the full gamut of her personality and is opting in fully aware of what he's getting into.
Yeah.
And he acts like he feels like the luckiest man alive because he kind of is.
It kind of is.
But the performance itself, and the performance itself, we all said we loved it. So I'm wearing this shirt, guys. If you guys can see, I'm wearing a Prince t-shirt because I feel like if we have any conversations around the top 3 to 5 Super Bowl performances of all time, I'm not even going to ask you who number 1 is because I do believe it has to be Prince singing Purple Rain in the rain. We've never had God as a co-host on a Super Bowl show. Like, God showed up to make Prince sing Purple Rain in the rain. You're never going to tell me that's not number 1, right? So I love y'all. We're not asking what number 1 is. What would 2 through 5 be for y'all? Because number 1 is Prince.
Okay, I agree with Prince.
I agree with Prince.
And he's a
think-
Gemini, so that's your fellow Gemini brother.
Oh, I love me some Prince. Absolutely. I think Michael Jackson, 1993.
That's what I was
that
gonna
man
say.
was
Yep.
teleporting.
Yep.
And he involved the audience in a
It's Michael Jackson.
card trick
It's Michael Jackson.
at the end
Yeah.
of the. Okay, that was very top. And then
Michael Jackson.
my second one is
You mean your third?
2016.
Prince is first.
Well, you asked my other two.
Okay.
So the third on my list because Prince was number 1. In the rain, in heels. Listen.
That man was not of this world. Uh-huh.
Okay. My third on my list is Bruno, Beyonce, Coldplay, which is number 3 on the most watched.
I just call that Beyonce, so that's very democratic of you.
well, I think
Beyonce had the party crashers, but yes.
I think it was I can't ever take off my marketing brain, right?
Oh,
My production,
absolutely.
my marketing brain, and I think that was an intelligently produced show for a lot of different
It was
reasons.
also the blackest Super Bowl performance we ever. She had
Very black.
She was
It was
dressed
very
like a
black.
Black Panther with bullets down her vest.
It was very black.
and also paying homage to Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
all that hair was nappy. I love it.
I
love
do.
nappy
By the way, one of my
hair.
love it.
favorite Rihanna lines
it.
ever is on Twitter. Remember when Rihanna used to be on Twitter?
Yeah.
She's too rich now to talk to us. But when Rihanna was on Twitter all the
Rihanna,
time,
go to Spill.
we're gonna talk about that in the next episode.
Go to Spill.
So when Rihanna was on Twitter, somebody was like, "Rihanna, why your hair be nappy in some of these shots when they catch you?"
She's like, bitch, I'm black.
Bitch, I'm black. That's why. Okay. Because bitch, I'm black, and so I feel
And
like
my kitchen got BDBs.
bitch, I'm black. Lulu, what are yours? Your top 2 through 5.
It's literally the same thing she said.
Okay,
like,
well, Look at God.
Look at
It
the
was really
consensus,
like, yeah.
consensus in the crew.
And I too agree. Look at us. 3 peas in a sexy pod.
And
I'm
I
with
was
it.
talking to my friend about this the other day because she was like, I know you a Beyonce stan. And I'm like, I just love how black she shows up in like really white spaces.
Yeah.
Like, I love how she like
Yeah.
lean in like, oh, Super Bowl, Black Panther. Oh, Coachella, HBCU homecoming. Like, I'm about to shove this down your throat
But
right
again,
now.
But she had to
the
be rich enough.
agency.
She had to be rich enough to do that. Though.
Sure, but
Yeah.
at the end, she's like,
You gotta
she
get
got-
your coin
she
up
like, who gonna
first.
check me, boo?
But she
Yeah.
never
Who
needed the
gonna check
music
me?
patronage in order to do that. And I think
Yeah.
that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
How many artists do we find, how many creatives do we find out here wanting to be as bold, but knowing that they depend on this one? She was always like, I'm diversified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
So even if you don't mess with me over here, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
I love Beyonce. I love Rihanna. I love us. One of the items that didn't get talked about, so maybe the spirit of blackness is what stopped it, was I was going to talk about how I might, do a little swirl for Travis Kelce. I think he's very attractive. He reminds me of John B from the 90s, but
Careful,
like
he likes to
with a
date
strong
sisters
back.
and then, like,
no, he has
not
a black
to-
girlfriend. That's why I really like him a lot.
Had.
I was about to say, I thought they broke up.
They broke up.
I feel like
after
he still got black
years.
girls in his DMs.
Oh,
You
sure.
know he does.
You know
Yeah,
he's in
Travis
that girl's
Kelce
DMs
is-
Who do you
right
think
now.
is validating that stanky leg that he did in the first quarter?
Why is his brother, who looks a lot like him, so not attractive to me?
They're different.
Yeah, they are different.
Y'all being diplomatic. Okay.
different.
One looked corn-fed, the other one looked like he goes to the black
different.
barber shop.
Well, they play different positions, which causes for different body types.
I'm talking about their face.
Their faces are a little bit. They were
Face
cute
card.
kids. Their mom was so cute.
Their
She
mother is
was
who won the
very
Super Bowl.
so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so sweet.
Well-
One fact though, I know we coming to a close. But I
The
feel like
producer's looking at me like,
I
girl.
understand. I feel like though we cannot mention Prince though without. Did y'all know that Prince performed with FAMU, the FAMU band?
No.
See, this is why we have to end in Black History Month.
Oh,
fun fact of
we're
the
sharing
year.
Prince facts. Prince has helped some of your favorites through their bankruptcies. When Lauryn Hill was going through something, he called everybody, said, who else can help me help Lauren and her babies get out of the tax problem? When Toni Braxton was having problems, he helped her and offered to let her open for him.
I love
Prince
that.
is like, I know
Crowdfunding.
we talk about Geminis and we talk shit about them because they're considered the world's least liked sign.
You said what?
Geminis are the world's least liked sign. When Beyonce was pregnant with twins who were going to be Geminis, a petition was out for her
A gift to the world.
They asked her to induce labor and not have more Geminis in the world.
Simpletons cannot understand.
Look, Aaron's
duality.
upset. Our producer might be a
That is
Gemini as well.
fine.
As somebody who's a Taurus with a Gemini rising, I too understand that Geminis need love. And we're going to get into
You're the
that.
most Gemini presenting non-Gemini I know.
No, I'm a
We have
Gemini
this
rising.
conversation all the
I'm a
time.
Gemini rising. I'm supposed to be Gemini presenting.
Okay.
So you guys, fun fact for those astrology folks, your rising sign is how you present.
Okay, so my
So I'm
rising is a Scorpio.
I'm a Gemini rising, so I present like a Gemini. You are a...
That's why you always forget I'm a Gemini.
Yeah. No,
Because I'm a Scorpio
No,
rising?
I was mentioned that you're a Gemini, but you won't be feeling like one though. You feel more like a Scorpio than a Gemini to me.
Do I?
Yeah.
That's deep.
We're gonna get into that conversation. Okay. Lulu, what's your rising sign?
Leo.
Oh, that makes total sense. It's like me, I pretty, ooh, parties, yay. I love this, you guys. This was a great episode. Before we wrap up, because it's a Galentine's episode,
Yes.
I think I'm gonna call this episode Sexiness is Democratic, because that feels like the overarching theme.
I love that.
If you had to write instructions to a Valentine about how to love you right in one sentence, what would it be? Who wants to go
One
first?
sentence.
One sentence. Come on, PR. I know you guys.
That's your new nickname.
In one sentence. Man. Patience is still coming up for me. You know, be patient with me. Please be patient with me. Give me the grace to be who I am and be who I'm becoming.
It's beautiful. How about you, Lulu?
Lulu.
Look, I love that the juxtaposition of all three of us together. I love this for me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I have just a quick sidebar. I have a girlfriend and her son is 3. He calls me
Aw. I might
super
start
cute.
calling you that, but continue.
That's super cute. Only if you're gonna hit it high pitch like
Right.
that.
I cannot.
I need that
I have
falsetto.
I have a rich voice.
We got some nice.
I was in the-
some nice chocolate
Right.
tone.
I was in the choir
nice
growing
Merlot
up, and they
tones.
put me in the boys' choir. I sound like Toni Braxton. Yeah. Unbreak my- Hey, Lulu, what is your instructions for Valentine's Day?
Patience is huge for me too, and just know that my heart is always in the right place, and just love me honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, mine would be consistent and trust my heart because I'm a real ass bitch. No, period. Right? Well, that concludes our first Galentine's episode of Humanized. I freaking adore you.
Thank
Kenya,
you for having me on.
please let
Boo.
them know where
Thank
they can find
Lulu.
you. Where can they find you, Kenya?
At Kenya T Parham on all socials. That's KenyaTParham.
And I'll tag her, guys, in case you didn't catch that.
That's it.
How about you, Lulu?
Lulu_Lou19 on Instagram.
And you guys know I am at Bluecentric on all platforms. And also, guys, at Bluecentric and at Blue Toulouse are my only Instagram handles. For some reason, someone's been going around pretending to be me and now has more followers as me. So the fake Blue has more followers than the real Blue. It's very awkward. So at Bluecentric and at Blue Toulousema, not at Bluecentrics with an S at the end or 2 C's or 3 I's.
Just blue centric.
Yes, like centric, Bluecentric or Blue
Everybody at
Toulousema.
Meta, I'm gonna need my girl to get a blue check.
Somebody,
I want to have this
please.
conversation
Legit.
again. All right.
I'm tired
looking
of
at you.
fighting with my
Let's go.
doppelganger. And you guys know, as always, we're all just human beings doing human shit. If you love this episode, please like and subscribe. And these two will be back. Don't bother asking me. And if you have comments, try to use the comment section and not my text and DMs. All right? Love you for watching. Be gentle with yourselves. Bye.
Bye.
That
Thank
was
you,
so
Blue.
fun.
This was
Was
fun.
that not fun?
I had a great time.
We have a whole other hour left, so I'm happy.
Oh my God, this is wonderful. I'm gonna need more Red Bull. You know
Girl, I
what I
bought you the long can.
Thank you.
I got you the longer. I saw it when your body tensed up. You're like, wait a minute. Wait, I got it. Lulu, are you the only one here with no Gemini in your chart?
No, yeah.